Welcome to the biggest show in the world, Sports Bettors TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Happy weekend, man. This is Rob from the biggest show in the world, Sports Bettors TV, the Mad Hatter, #Hatter. And I got my boy, the evil genius of Major League Baseball, Dr. Dan, on the line. Kid, what is going on this morning?
Oh, nothing much, man. Nothing much. You know, not a great day yesterday. Just some crazy stuff happening in baseball last night, but still a monster week. Just another really solid week. Plus money again, and I think there's a big card out there today, and I think we can hit it again hard.
Nice, bro. Nice. How many games over 500 are you on the money lines? You're like what, 20-something games over?
Yeah, so on the money lines going into yesterday, because I haven't calculated everything from yesterday, I think I was 3-6 money line yesterday. So that would put me, if I was 3-6 yesterday, that would put me at 82-59 for money line plays.
Now, and most of them are not most of them, but half of them you would say are favorites and half are underdogs.
Yeah, I would say it's a pretty good mix.
Okay,
good mix.
Nice.
And, hey, guys can go back and check everything from the beginning of the season. Every day is posted. SportsBettersTV.com. Check out Dr. Dan's clinic. Hey, we're rolling. If we took out the first week. And I was talking to you about this before the show, kid. If I took out that first week because we were at like 48%, we'd be at like 72% right now. But, hey, we did play those games. It's something that, I might think about in the future and seasons coming up. Maybe we will take that first week off, which would be so incredibly hard for me. But it's better to watch sometimes. But, hey, we're ripping now and keep picking up steam.
How many plays did you do yesterday?
Plays that I posted, I think I did 1, 2, 3. I had like 9 plays, 10 plays, maybe 11.
We set the under-over at 8 yesterday for the amount of plays you were going to put out.
Oh, no.
Anybody that had the over cashed.
I had 13 plays yesterday.
Oh, wow. It went way over, kid.
And what's a little scary is that's what I posted. I apologize, guys. I took a bunch of adjusted run lines, like, at 6:59, like, right before the 7 o'clock games, and then again I took them, and we hit a few of those, and, hey, I can't remember the dude right now, and I apologize, but the dude who threw out the St. Louis adjusted line, or the run line, that was money, so thank you for that, but, yeah, I mean, all in all, personal plays and plays that were actually posted on time, It was a little degenerate day.
Yeah, I know, because we saw the full slate of MLBs, and we were like, "Oh, we got to set a line of 8." People were saying they were going to buy the hook and get it down a little bit so they can make more money. It was funny,
dude,
man. We had a nice.
You guys, you got 8 on a full day game.
I know. There was a problem with that. That was a fishy line.
Dude, I know. It was crazy. I mean, I'm like Coors Field over here. Always just expect the over.
I know. Speaking of Coors Field, man, I gave out the under of 10 yesterday in the San Francisco Giants and Colorado Rockies. And some people out there actually brought it up to 10.5 and won, but I pushed. But I had 2 winners yesterday, man. I had Mr. King Felix pitch a complete game shutout as I had I didn't know he was going to go a full game, but I knew that the Twins really weren't going to be able to hit that guy. I had a really good. Well, you never know.
The Twins can't hit anybody.
Exactly. I mean, they're averaging 3.5 runs a game. So
right.
I said, give me my boy at home. I mean, it's just a no-brainer. So I didn't know how much run support he was going to get, and he only got 2 runs, but it was a win.
Hey.
And then the Rangers' stomach ache, man, but came out and won the game.
Yeah, I mean, there was a period in that third period. It was crazy. I mean, there was a point where they didn't get a shot on goal.
I know.
For 14 minutes. 14 minutes. And then, I mean, both goalies, hey, I got to give it up to Flair. I mean, dude stood on his head the whole series. He was by far, the Penguins MVP. And then Lundqvist, I mean, just absolutely phenomenal. Making the one save he made, kid, that I thought changed the whole game, that I don't know if you remember, was there was like a wraparound after it was a slap shot. He gave up the rebound. The dude went around. He managed to get his blocker over to the post. Like,
oh yeah. I watched the whole game, dude.
Yeah. I mean, just absolutely ridiculous. I was able to watch most of that game because once the Mets got down early, I was just like, all right, can really hone into the Rangers. And, once it went to overtime, I felt pretty good. I mean, the better teams tend to take it down in overtime, and that they do. So they'll be going on to obviously the Washington or the Islanders, and I'm feeling pretty good about that.
Yes, sir, man. So I continue cashing, man. I had the night before. I had a phenomenal week. I had one losing night, and that was the night before where I got. I had a couple of drinks and put out a crazy live line on the Milwaukee Bucks. But other than that, dude, my last couple weeks have been money, dude. So,
yo, what about the Cats that took the Golden State live line the other night at plus 1,100?
Oh my God, I know, right? Right.
Oh, I wish I had jumped on that.
Oh, I know. You can never count that team out, man. Let me just tell you about that.
Yeah, hey, and I gotta say this because my NBA is terrible. But what did I say about those Spurs?
Yes. The Spurs layeth the smacketh down on the Clips yesterday. My God.
Oh, I know.
What did he get? 79 points total, man? Damn. What a defensive effort.
I think the Clips put up 77. I know San Antonio scored over 100 again.
Yes.
That one came with ugly.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, big ups to everybody that's retweeting our show today. It's the tweet that says retweet and listen now, Sports Betting Live. We got Spot Bet. We got AMB. I got Ben Diaz. I got James Harrelson. Prestige Worldwide. Got my man Dale Johnson. What's going on, buddy? JC, hashtag SBTV Nation. Let me see who else I got here on my radar. Dude, I'm doing this from my phone, guys, so if I skip you, it's not intentional. It's just my phone's, I can't do it on the computer. It's going to slow me up there. But I got no requests. I got the beautiful Queen of Odds. I got Mr. Mac, Mario Martinez, AZ Wildcat 83, Tip Talker, Smokey, The Dream is retweeting us this morning, and it's Woots all the way in Australia. And just trying, Bengal T I got as well. What's going on, guys? Good morning to you. Top of the morning to make some money. I feel like we're like the little mailman there with the newspapers, but instead it's got buckets full of money.
Buckets,
envelopes full of money, just throwing it right at your front door this morning. So rise and shine, get up, get your coffee going. Let's make some money today. How about that? Dan, what you got on a ticket here? What do you want to do? You want to go into let's do MLBs first. How about that?
All right, let's do that.
All right. So taking a look at this real quick, I just want to jump right into it, guys, because there's a lot of games, and I think we could do pretty well today. So taking a look at this, first game I got on the ticket, man, is a 12:05 start. Actually, is that 1:05, Dan, or 12?
Which game you looking at?
Detroit and Cleveland.
That is a 108 start.
108 start. Okay, all right. So we got the Cleveland Indians coming into the Detroit Tigers. Detroit's minus 114, so they're slightly favored with an under-over of 8. Dan, who's pitching? And give me your breakdown, and then we'll have the conversation.
Yeah, so we got, for Cleveland, we got Trevor Bauer, 2-0 with a .95 ERA. And for Detroit, we have Alfredo Simon, 3-0 with a 1.74 ERA. I like Detroit here.
After getting pounded yesterday?
After getting pounded.
They got smoked. What was the final on that? Like 13-1 or something?
Yeah, it was something bad. It was something real bad.
Wow.
And they got absolutely destroyed. The Tigers are a team though that they're veteran guys. That's not going to like impact them.
Yep.
And look, Trevor Bauer's been lights out, but the Tigers' offense, except for the 2 losses or 3 losses they have, has been lights out. And then Alfredo Simon has been really, really good. And Cleveland, except for, the shocker last night, the shocker from the Steamers, they're not going to, I don't think they're going to put up back-to-back big run efforts. I like Detroit pretty good here.
You know what? I'm looking at a couple of things here, and it's actually telling me like 135 on one site with that, and I'm looking at minus 114 on where the best line is. So Detroit, the line is going down. The line's going down a lot for Detroit being favored. So a very interesting thing to look at, guys. So let me. I don't have an opinion on it, Dan. I would think of leaning the Tigers with you, but I'm taking a look at the pitching matchup, and it's kind of making me fall back a little bit.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So sorry about that, man. I wish I was on board with you on that.
It's all good.
You know, I mean, the Tigers should win the game, but I don't know. We'll see where it lands. I kind of wait for those hot pitchers that start off hot to kind of cool off before I start betting against them, you know?
Fair enough.
Fair enough. Exactly. Next one I got on the ticket, I got the Chicago Cubs at the Cincinnati Reds. And I did say that Lester was due yesterday, even though, what, he let up 3 runs?
Yeah, I mean, he still doesn't look like Lester, I guess, you know?
Yeah. I had a feeling that the Cubs were going to pull it out yesterday. But the line is, let's see, Chicago Cubs minus 115, Cincinnati plus 108 with an under-over of 7. What you got?
Yeah, so we got another good pitching duel here. We got Jake Arrieta for Chicago, 2-1 with a 1.74. And my man for Cincinnati that's flying under the radar is Mr. DeSclafani, 2-0 with a .86 ERA. Again, I think, these teams both look pretty good. The offenses both look good. And I'm got Cincinnati. I think when you have a pitcher with a sub-1 ERA, and then you got a line that's going off when they're plus money, I gotta go with Cincinnati.
Taking a look at this right now, the Cubs, believe it or not, are superior in like so many different categories. Runs for, runs against, money, team ERA, offensive hits, walks, strikeouts, the whole package. So,
but they don't got Billy Hamilton.
Yeah, good point.
That dude is insane.
Stealing bases for days. I know. How many did he have last night?
3, I think. I think he had 3. He's reminding me of Willie Mays Hayes.
I know, right?
MLB, baby.
Blast from the past, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Taking a look at this, I kind of agree with you with the Reds, though.
Yeah, I like the Reds. Look, I know, obviously Chicago could get on a roll. They brought up all these young kids finally. I mean, Addison Russell looks like he's going to be a stud. I mean, you put him at second base, he doesn't miss a beat. Guy's going to be real good. Bryant, obviously. But, I just think the Reds and the role that DeSclafani's on right now, I just really like them.
Got it. Okay. All right. So, guys, I don't think I'm going to play that. I may, but it's just a slight initial lean right now. Next one we got on the ticket, we got the K-Sizzle Royals at the Chicago White Sox. And K-Sizzle's minus 129 with an under-over of 8. What you got there, brother?
Yeah, so I think this is going to go 6 rounds. We're going to see, a points match go to Kansas City on the boxing match. No, but we got Volquez going for KC, who, hey, that dude took on Jeff Samardzija. Why you would take on the only guy on the field that played Division I college football is insane, but I love it. But Volquez 2-1 with a 1.99 ERA going up against the Johnny of Danks, 0-2 with a 6.06 ERA.
Wow.
I like Kansas City here.
You gotta look at their bats. Their bats are awesome, bro.
Oh, I mean, Kansas City, they've obviously hit the injury bug a bit. But, when I look at the starting pitching, I mean, Johnny Danks is not good. And he hasn't been good this year. And I think Kansas City takes him down.
Okay. All right. We'll take a look at that and see where it goes. I'm looking at it right now. K-Sizzle is 12-4 and rocking all the stats. Like, they're far superior to Chicago White Sox.
Yeah.
And having Volquez on the mound, who's been lights out.
Right.
Might
and
be
remember,
might be a good play.
Too, to look at is, their game. Their game today is still why you won't see it on the board, guys. And you're going to have to find it somewhere, is the game last night was suspended. Okay, so it's going off it's 2-2 in the 8th inning, and it's being picked up at 2:10 Eastern time. So you're going to have to wait for the completion of that game. You'll probably get a half hour, 40 minutes to look at what you want to do and make your play. But I'll tell you right now, when it comes out on my book of choice, I will be taking Kansas City.
Okay.
But the line will move heavily. If you find a book that's offering it, depending on the outcome of the end of that game, the line will move heavily.
Got it. Okay. All right. Definitely something to take a look at, man. I got the New York Mets at the New York Stanks. The Subway Series is alive and well. The Mets are the Stanks are minus 115 with an under-over of 7. What we got there, Dan?
So it's the holiday Harvey Day, baby. For the Mets, 3-0 with a 3.5 ERA against Sabathia. 0-3 with a 4.35. Hey, the Mets lost their first game in 11 games last night. DeGrom obviously did not look good. The offense did not get things done when they needed to. And hey, the Yankees hit some good home runs, which, hey, whatever. I mean, in Citi Field, most of those are flyouts. But it is what it is. The Mets come in today and they take care of business, though. Harvey's been at minus 200 every game he's pitched so far this year. And I understand that, he's dealt with a little bit of an ankle sprain out of spring training. For those of you guys who don't know and who are saying, he didn't look that great last time out. He looked really good. He should have probably been pulled before that inning. He was dealing with a pretty bad viral infection, and he still pitched the game. I mean, most other guys would have been scratched. They would not have made that start. Harvey is a big time. When the game matters, he's at his best. And, he grew up, he wants to beat the crap out of the Yankees, and he's going to today. If you don't want to lean me because you're calling it a homer pick, that's fine. But anytime you get Harvey at minus 105, you got to take it.
No, they're plus, dude.
Yeah, if you can get
I got him plus
now.
money. I got Harvey plus 109 on my board, dude.
There you go.
109 for Harvey. That's... I mean, listen.
CC Sabathia. Dude, I'm telling you, the Mets offense is waking up today. It's going to be I think low 60s in the Bronx. It's a day game. The ball tends to, I think that the Mets, especially the Mets having the younger team, will play much better in a day game after a night game. Look, Harvey at plus 109 to me is crazy, but whatever.
All right. That sounds like a pretty good value there. I mean, the Stanks are the bats are crazy over there, though.
Yeah,
they're scoring.
They've been playing very well.
5.35 runs a game, which puts them in the league number 2. Number 2, man. So who's ahead of them? Who's got to be ahead of them? K-Sizzle? No. Somebody. I mentioned it yesterday. I can't think off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it was the Blue Jays. I think it was the Blue Jays.
Yeah, it could be the Blue Jays, and then I'm completely blanking on who else.
Yeah, I think it was the Blue Jays.
Detroit.
Yeah, it was. It was definitely the Blue Jays yesterday.
Detroit's number 1.
Detroit's number 1 now. Yeah,
Detroit's got to be number 1 in runs scored.
All right, gotcha. Next one we got on the ticket here. We got the Houston Astros at the Oakland A's, and the line is anywhere pretty much even. You got Oakland minus 113 is the best you're going to find with an under-over of 8. What you got there, Dan? So
we got Scotty Feldman for Houston, 1-2 with a 5.09. And we got Kendall Graveman for Oakland, 1-1 with a 6.94. I really lean Houston here again. I think anybody who watched that game, by the way, I feel really bad for you if you had the under in that game.
Oh, that was a heartbreaker. It's 0-0 game at the top of the 9th, and they scored 9 runs, dude. Oh.
And hey, I know I've been talking about this dude all year, but my boy Keiko, man, if they could have gotten behind him and if they made that hold up, he would have had a 9-inning game. He probably could have gone out there for the 10th too, but the Astros, I call them as my little wild card team. They need some bullpen help. They really need some bullpen help. I mean, that's going to hurt them. But I like them today. I think the bats have really been picking up for Houston. Feldman's not great, but I don't like Graveman at all for Oakland. I think they find a way to knock him out early, even at home. And, I like Houston plus money today.
Taking a look at this guy, Dan, you're going to like this. Houston's road ERA is number 1 in the league. 2.8 runs are letting up, right? And Oakland's home scoring offensively, 6.1 runs a game. Number 1 in the league. So they're both number 1 in those respective categories.
Yeah, that makes it fun. I like those stats a little bit. I tend to look at the individual matchups, and I'm also leaning. That's why I am leaning actually towards the over. I know what you're saying about the ERA on the road, and that makes sense. But I think both teams are going to score today. I think both teams score today.
Well,
and you're talking about 8 runs. I think I tend to believe also when the bats got started last night late, and then you got 2 pitchers that are not great. I could see this game being like, 6-4, Houston.
Okay, all right.
Something like that. I think I'm going to roll with the. Over 8.
Got it. All right, that doesn't sound like a bad play, Dan.
Nope.
So, all right, big ups to my man D. I got Kian Vu, I got Yippa82, I got Joseph, Del Rosario, Alex Washington. What's up, guys? Julio Prado, Benjamin Rowe, Vegas Girl 92661. I got Streguzzi, C. Rodriguez Jr., Randy Lockhart, Vast Sports Picks. Let's see who else I got. Mr. Patel, what's going on? I can't pronounce your first name. I apologize about that. Casano Dank and David Duncan, just to name a few, kid. Just to name a few. All right, so let's see. Let's scroll on to the next one and see what we got, my man. Let's see. The Washington Nasties are playing the Miami Marlins. And the Washington Nasties are minus 150 with an under-over of 7.5. And tell me who I got pitching, because I think I'm going with the Nasties.
I think you might be. We got, obviously, Mr. Strasburg from the Nasties, 1-1 with a 4.5 ERA. We got Kohler for the Marlins, 1-2 with a 6.75 ERA. Ugh. I mean, this is crazy. I actually lean Miami. I'm going to stay away from this game. I do not. I think Steven Strasburg. I mean, and the numbers back it up. This year he has been extremely, extremely mediocre. The velocity is down. He's not the same pitcher that he was, and the Marlins, their offenses look slightly better. I mean, remember how bad the Marlins started off?
Yes.
They're now 6-11. Washington 7-10. They got beat yesterday. Washington has not looked good, even with their guys back. That offense does not look good. They can't click. And then you have Strasburg, who I just think that you might see a laser shot from Mr. Giancarlo Stanton again today, who hit the craziest home run I've ever seen. I don't know if you saw that kid, the laser he hit the other day.
No, I didn't get a
That's
chance
all
to
you
see
can
it.
call it. They have these now. Anybody who wants a MLB, just regular MLB TV, which most people get with regular sports package on cable now, they have this advanced stat tracking thing that they've unrolled, which is kind of cool. Giancarlo Stanton hit a home run that left the ballpark in like under 2 seconds yesterday. It came off the bat at like 114 miles per hour. Just ridiculous. I've never seen anything like it. And I just think that Strasburg, when your mile per hours are down and you're missing your spots a little bit, the Marlins have some guys in that lineup that can do damage, and I think they'll do them some damage. The question is does Washington's offense come to play today?
That's it, man. I need the run support. That's the problem.
And I don't know if you're going to get it.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I look at, guys. I'm sure you've kind of noticed my style a little bit. I look to invest in really good pitchers where they can either get run support or they're facing a team that just can't put the bat on the ball. This one here is probably a little tighter than I'd like it to be, just because Miami's scoring, over 4 runs a game, and the Nasties are under 4 runs. So if I do it, it's going to be I don't know yet, man. It might be, I may slip it into a parlay. I don't know yet, though, Dan.
And here's the other thing you got to remember. I mean, the Marlins just came off a big time. They lost 5 games straight, and then they beat up on the Phillies, their last 2 road games there. They came home, they beat, so they've won 3 in a row, and the bats have looked good. If you remember, in the last 3 games, they put up a 6 spot, a 9 spot, and then even against a good pitcher yesterday, they put up a 3 spot to win. I'm staying away from it. Best of luck if you choose to take it. I I don't know, man. I like them. I actually kind of like the Marlins, but I'm not gonna take it.
I think I'm going nasties, bro. I think I'm going nasties. Listen, guys, just so you know, I have an NBA play that I like a lot more than anything that I see right now in the MLBs. If something comes up as we're breaking these down, I'll let you know if I like it more. But there's an NBA play that's got my name written all over it. I think I'm going to get it heavily involved in it. Next one we got on the ticket, we got the Toronto Blue Jays at the Tampa Biscuit Rays. Toronto minus 113 with an under-over of 8. What you got there, Dan?
So we got the man in the van again. 1-1. Yep, Mr. Norris. 1-1 with a 6.08 ERA. And the guy for Tampa Bay, I think it's Erasmo Ramirez. 0-1 with a 21.32 ERA.
Wow.
Yeah. There's so much on the schedule today. I'm not going to touch this. I don't like Toronto when Bautista's out. Remember, guys, he's like day to day. I don't think he's going to go on the DL. But, and then they just looked bad yesterday. I mean, their fielding was like just pathetic. I'm just going to stay away from this game. I think Toronto should win. I mean, this pitcher for Tampa Bay is brutal, but I just don't know.
Dan, Toronto, yeah, like I said, man, 5.7 runs a game, ranked number 1 in the league right now.
They're number 1. I thought Detroit was.
That's what I'm looking at, man.
Huh.
And I don't know if they're figuring yesterday's awful performance in there, but as of what I'm looking at, yeah, number 1, bro. Number 1. Yeah, surprisingly, man. The Toronto Blue Jays putting the bats on the ball.
It's just too bad their pitching has been terrible too. And remember, that's what I said before this season started. That's why, and I thought Toronto's pitching was going to be a lot better. But teams like the Red Sox and other teams that have these mighty offenses but not great pitching, don't look for them to do big things.
Detroit is ranked 7th.
I have them 8.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah, 4.6 runs a game.
4.59. Yeah, yeah, and then you got the Yankees 2nd, the Royals 3, the Red Sox 4, the A's 5. So, this game leans towards the over, actually.
Over 8?
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, I'm trying to see what do you have the over under at right now? Kid?
8 runs, brother.
I mean, I think I kind of like that.
I'm looking at Toronto here. I'm looking at Toronto to bounce back, but I don't know if I'm going to put my money in that.
I like Toronto's pitcher a little better than Tampa Bay's pitcher, but man, I don't know. I mean, they could both just implode.
Yeah. How about this? How about we keep it moving?
Let's do it.
All right. Boston Red Sox at the Baltimore O's. The O's are minus 105. Boston, you can pretty much get even money right now. Under over of 8.5. What you got there, brother?
Yeah, so we got Masterson for Boston, 2-0 with a 5.74 against Mr. Chen for Baltimore, 0-1 with a 3.07. He's been a hard luck loser a couple times, but I don't think so tonight. I think Baltimore really gets to Masterson. 2-0 with a 5.74. That just shows how good Boston's offense has been. But I really like Chen. He's really crafty. He's a wily dude. I mean, hey, a 3.07 ERA is a very, very good, very respectable ERA. He doesn't give up a lot of hits. He doesn't walk a lot of guys. I like Baltimore here to come back and win after that loss they took yesterday.
All right. So I don't have an opinion on that. Those AL East matchups, man, they kind of bother me a little bit because it seems like they go back and forth. You know what I mean? There's never any definitive dominant team.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, and here's the thing though, like uncharacteristically, last time out, Chen did take the loss at Boston, and he did walk dudes, and he got pulled early, which is really uncharacteristic of him. I think, coming back to Baltimore today, he knows what he's doing. I just think that he'll get the win.
All right, next one I got on the ticket, I got the Atlanta Braves at the Philadelphia Phillies. Big ups to my man Harang yesterday for pitching a shutout.
Thank you, Mr. Harang.
Hey, you know what? Everybody's been on my case about him, and he's been money. I wish I bet him yesterday.
Yo, this is one of those guys, and I understand where you're coming from, hating on the Hatter for the Harang, but Harang was terrible when he was young. He's just like one of those. It's like he's like a late in life good pitcher. It's just like he just kind of figured out how to pitch, right? There are guys out there that rely on pure talent that can throw the ball 1,000,000 miles an hour. They don't need to locate every corner. They don't need to make the correct pitch on every sequence. But when you're a crafty veteran like this guy's been doing, and he can go out there, he knows when to throw his slider, when to throw his curve, when to throw his fastball, when to throw his fastball a little slower. There's so many variations. Dude looks really good.
He's like, like one of them, females that are, not so attractive in school, growing up, and then they become the swan, and they're like incredible. You see them all of a sudden. You went to high school with them, and you never look at them, and all of a sudden when they're like, 28 years old, and you see them at a reunion, they're like, "Whoa, who is that?" That's how Harang is right now. He kind of blossomed into a hell of a pitcher. So big ups to him on that. So what's your take on this game, Atlanta and Philly?
Garbage. Just straight garbage. Atlanta's got a good pitcher on the mound. They got Shelby Miller, who's 2-0 with a 1.69. The Phils got Buchanan 0-3 with a 9.22. Buchanan's been just terrible. Atlanta's 8-8. The Phils are 6-11. Atlanta has been just really bad as of late. Obviously, they went into New York, got swept by the Mets, which, hey, it is what it is. The Mets are good. But then they go into Philadelphia and they lose a 1-0 game. They look absolutely terrible yesterday. I'm just going to stay away from this game because it looks like the Atlanta Braves are going into that just absolute death spiral. Going right back to where I thought they were going to be. I think, if they weren't playing the Phils, they'd be on a big losing streak. But they could still lose. I'm not touching this game. I think Shelby Miller wins. I lean the Braves, definitely, but I'm not putting my money there.
Okay. All right, next one we got on the ticket, we got the St. Louis Cardinals going into the Milwaukee Brew Crew. And St. Louis minus 137 with an under-over of 7. Who you got pitching there, bro?
So we got Willie Peralta, 0-2 with a 5.68 for the Brew Crew. And we got Waino for the Cards, 2-1 with a 1.71. And, the line here, I think I was able to snag it, the Cards at like minus 140. I got to look at that and make sure. I have a lot of games. Yeah, minus 141. That's insane. I'll take, just ride the streak. Wainwright against what's probably the worst team in baseball right now, against the pitcher that's going to get blasted in Peralta by the Cards lineup. All over St. Louis. I don't think much more needs to be said. The Brew Crew is they make me want to puke how bad they play baseball.
Wow.
They're 3-14. 3-14. St. Louis coming in at 11-4. Hey, I'm all over St. Louis here. I'm also going to rock the St. Louis run line.
That makes a lot of sense, Dan. That play makes a lot of sense to me, to be honest with you. That's something that I'd probably take a look at as well. Let me just see what the Brew Crew are doing bats-wise, which I think is awful, by the way. Let me take a look here. See.
They're doing everything awful.
Yeah, I know.
And they're injured.
They are really, really bad right now. Let me see. The Brew Crew are putting up 2.71 runs a game, where St. Louis is just under 4. As you said, St. Louis got Wainwright on the mound, dude. The Brew Crew are spiraling out of control, 3-14 on their record. But you did say that they are streaky, so you got to be careful.
They are streaky, but you lose 8 in a row, whatever. But you start your season 3-14, especially when you have a team. So the Cardinals are 12 games up on them already. Just take your shovel, dig your own grave, jump in and pour cement because you're done already.
Dude, anybody betting the Brew Crew, and the Dream knows this firsthand. If you're betting the Brew Crew $100 a game, you are down $1,211 on the season.
I don't know.
Brutal, dude, brutal. I think I got to go Wainwright with you, man.
Yeah, it just makes too much sense.
It makes sense, right?
It just makes too much sense. I mean, especially at minus 140, that's not bad. I honestly, when I saw this matchup, I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh God, this is going to be like minus 210. Like, what am I going to parlay it with?
Yeah.
And then minus 140, I mean, it's almost a little fishy to me.
Yeah,
it's
what's going on there?
Fishy.
Because it's actually gone down, Dan. So we got to take a look at that and just make sure. I mean, when we talk about watching line movements and stuff like that, guys, I mean, if we see a team that we really like and the odds are going the other way, we really got to, research why that is. You know what I mean? And go from there.
I don't think St. Louis has any injuries or any, or anybody sitting out. I don't see anything like that. I just think that, it has something to do with St. Louis is actually only 20th in runs scored at 387.
That could be it.
So like they don't tend to score a ton of runs, but again, you don't get to play a team like the Brewers every day, and they're still 11-4 with that amount of runs scored. So their pitching and their defense has been extremely good, except for Matt Adams dropping a couple pop flies the other day. But it doesn't make a ton of sense to me, but I got to go with it.
I agree with you on that, dude. I'm going to get involved in that game. I like that game. I like that game. I like that. I like Wainwright for St. Louis, and I'm taking Strasburg for the Nasties today.
The Strasburg one is the only one that, like, if I was going to talk you off it, I would talk you off.
All right.
I know.
You always try to talk me off the Nasties.
Well, I mean, hey, like I said, and this is, I picked them to go to the World Series, that, but I also took the under of 94 for the reason that I thought they would win, 88 to 90 games, maybe 91, but their offense, man, even with guys coming back healthy, gross. They cannot hit the ball.
It's too bad, man. It's too bad. But
hey, for the Mets, it's good.
Yeah, it's great for the Mets. The Mets are laying the smackdown in that division, man, big time. All right, so the next one we got on the ticket, and my boy Rainmaker's telling me to stay away from this. Pittsburgh Pirates at the Arizona Diamondbacks. Pittsburgh minus 131 with an under-over of 8.5. What you got there, Dan?
Yeah, so we got A.J. Burnett going for Pittsburgh, 0-1 with a 2 ERA against De La Rosa, 2-1 with a 6 ERA. I'm staying away from this game. Crazy thing is, I lean Arizona.
You're liking that team this year, yeah.
I kind of do. They got a lot of pop in the lineup. They're kind of fun to watch. Like I said, everybody projected them to be an 100-loss team this year. I never saw that. I thought their pitching was enough to kind of get by. I did not like the pitching trade they made early in the season, getting rid of, a top 3 starter in your rotation. But, De La Rosa hasn't been that good, which is why I'm staying off it. I just, I don't know. There's better games out there, but I do lean Arizona.
All right. Big ups to my man, Direct Sports Solution, has been very generous to us, man. Giving us hats, taking care of us. We really appreciate you big time, brother. And it was absolute pleasure meeting you out in Vegas, and look forward to doing more work with you, bro. We got the pick, and we got CK Noyen out there as well. Good morning, guys. What's going on? Tommy King is out there. P for Prez, Total Sports Edge. Big ups to him on picking Ottawa yesterday in the hockey matchup. So the Dream didn't see that coming.
Yeah, they dominated Montreal. That was unbelievable. What, they went 5-1?
Yeah, it was something like that. So I think it was 5-1, yeah.
5-1, yeah. That's crazy because, this is just, I think Montreal, I think they have to get it done in Ottawa, and I know we're breaking away from baseball for a second, but I think if they go home, the thing is, a team like Montreal, those fans are so freaking crazy, and I've heard this time and time again about how they almost have more pressure playing at home than they do on the road because of how crazy the Canadiens fans are. I think if they don't wrap it up in Game 6 at Ottawa, they're going to lose the series.
Interesting.
I might even look for a play now to see what I can get at Ottawa winning the series.
All right, we'll do that when we get into our hockey segment.
Yeah.
Next one I got on the ticket, we got the San Francisco Giants at the Colorado Rockies. And let's see, Colorado's minus 120 with an under-over of 10. San Fran's bats are terrible. Who do I got pitching? Do I got a halfway decent pitcher for these teams or what?
No.
No?
No, I mean, halfway decent for Frisco. We got Timmy Hudson. He's 0-2 with a 3.93, which, is halfway decent. But that's counterbalanced by Mr. Jorge De La Rosa, who is 0-1 with a 31.5 ERA.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
Was he in Coors Field on that start?
He started more than that game. Obviously had no decisions. I don't know what to even say about this because I never expect San Francisco to hit the ball.
Never,
but I mean, you're going up against a guy who's got a 31.5 ERA. That's just obviously
in Coors Field on top of it.
Right. In Coors Field. Yeah, so this is what happened. Yeah, he made one start. He only got through 2 innings. He gave up 9 hits. 9 hits, 7 runs.
Woo.
And he only walked 1 guy, so he was just getting bludgeoned. I'm staying away from this game. I'm staying away.
All right.
I think I kind of like the over.
So the over makes sense.
Yeah, it almost makes too much sense.
It almost makes too much sense, right? I mean, I pushed on mine yesterday, but you got the under over of 10 there, guys. Let's see. The next one we got on the ticket, we got the LA Dodgers at the San Diego Padres, and real quick. I did get lucky with that push because there was 10 runs in the 6th inning, dude. They didn't score anymore.
I couldn't believe it. Well, it was like 6-4. Like I think in the 2nd inning was when they both put up 3 spots.
Yeah,
right.
So
it was in the 2nd inning, you were already. I thought you were already in trouble. But hey, that's crazy that no more runs are scored after that. But I would, got to be happy for the push.
That's the MLB gods looking over me these days, man. I'm telling you, because my baseball has been crazy. Let's see.
Yep.
So we got the Dodgers and Padres. What you got there, brother? I got a 6.5 to 7 is your total here. So we must have some aces pitching today.
Yeah, but that's a little weird, and I'll explain why. So we got McCarthy going for the Dodgers, 2-0 with a 4.5, and we have Kennedy making the start for the Padres. But this is Ian Kennedy's first start of the year, coming off an injury. So I don't know what to expect. Sorry, not his first start. His first start since he injured himself. He only went 2 1/3 innings, and then he had the hamstring injury when he got pulled from the game. I don't know if you remember. I remember that because I had that game. The over-under makes no sense to me. I mean, Ian Kennedy is dope. Don't get me wrong. I really like him. But, again, you're talking about a pitcher coming off a leg injury, a hamstring. He's going to have to bat. He possibly could have to run the bases. And then McCarthy, he's decent. I mean, but not really decent. I mean, he's sub-decent. I mean, a 4.5 ERA isn't that good. He gets by because the Dodgers have a good lineup. I don't know. I kind of lean the over on this one as well. I like the Padres. I like the Padres. I think they get to McCarthy, but I lean the over too.
Interesting. All right. My man Raymaker, I'm sorry about this, brother. I made a mistake. He's saying to fade Strasburg today.
Yeah.
I don't know if your boy's going to do that,
I agree with you, man.
I know. You guys are trying to really talk me off the ledge. I think we may have a better shot with rain rate. Dude, I mean, and, that's the thing. I mean, the money, you're talking about minus 155 on Strasburg on the road or minus 141 on Waino on the road against the Brewers. Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make any sense.
Good. I hope it's way off.
I know, seriously. Like, I don't know who Vegas has running these MLB books, but I'm sorry. They can't keep up with the doctor. Sports Bettors TV Nation.
All right. Next one we got on the ticket, we got the Texas Rangers at the LA Angels. The LA Angels minus 155 with an under-over of 8. I don't know if they got any business giving that kind of juice, man. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, we got Lewis starting, who's 1-1 with a 3.79 against C.J. Wilson, 1-2 with a 3.54. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, the Angels haven't been good, but I also think, and I hate to say it this way, but I also feel like the Angels exercise some demons. I'm sure you know Hamilton's being traded to the Rangers.
Okay.
I kind of think that was something that was kind of hanging over the heads of everybody in the organization. And they still, man, they're 8-9. They're one game under 500, which, that division's been beating up on each other. I like the Angels to get the win today. I think they get it done. I think you could see a pretty big pounding of the Rangers today.
Interesting. Interesting. All right, yeah, I'm looking at it right now. I mean, smart chart wise, statistically, they're pretty even. Surprisingly, but you got LA at home. I mean, it just seems
that's
like
the thing, at home. And I think, like I said, and some people might want to take me to task for this, which is fine, but I really think when baseball, more than any other sport, distractions are huge. Anything that weighs on your mind outside of the game, like I feel like you can play football being emotionally angry at certain positions. You go into a game, you're pissed off, like your wife left you, something like that. You go out there and you can hit someone at 100 miles per hour. It's hard to hit a fastball when other things are on your mind.
Sure.
And when Josh Hamilton, that whole thing was like a really up in the air situation, and now it's over. So They'll take a deep breath. I think they really come out. They get the win tonight. And the thing is I think that Lewis for the Rangers, he's been pitching above his head. I don't like him at all. C.J. Wilson isn't great either, but I think he'll be a little better. And Angels at home, like I said, I like them to get the W.
All right. Next one we got to take it the final MLB we have on the card, and then we'll get into NBA and then hockey. We got the Minnesota Twins coming into the Seattle Mariners, and Seattle minus 156 with an under-over of 7. Tell me what you got there, and I'll tell you my opinion here.
Yeah, so we got May for Minnesota, 1-1 with a 4.76. Going against Paxton, 0-1 with an 8.4.
Wow. Okay.
So,
that explains the line.
it does.
Because it's hard for me to lay over 150 with Seattle with their bats being as quiet as they are.
Yeah, it's been a little crazy, but the thing is, I can't see Paxton. He's just too good a pitcher, and maybe I'm just too in love with him. And if I get bit today, maybe I'll stay off him. I just think Paxton is too good of a pitcher to do what he's been doing, and I got to expect it to turn around. I don't know, man. I like the Mariners here.
You do,
I like
huh?
the Mariners. I just think when you're a guy who can pitch, and you're going against a team that really can't hit,
3 runs a game.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta go with that.
Okay, all right. It makes sense, Dan. It makes sense. So, all right. So, recap in the baseball. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to play that game. I got my. Wasn't really a stomach ache yesterday, but King Felix just basically shut the door and just was lights out, for a complete game shutout. But so here's what I'm looking at, guys. I am looking at the Washington Nasties today with Strasburg. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. And I'm also looking at Mr. Wainwright for the St. Louis Cardinals. I think the Cardinals is probably the best play on the board.
Yeah, I mean, I'm rolling obviously with a bunch, and I'm going to throw them up on the website. But no, I'm with you on Waino and the Cards, and I'm going to take them on that plus money or online as well.
Okay.
Because I just think that the Brew Crew will probably get shut out.
You love those.
But I mean, I got a bunch of games, guys. After the show, by the end of the show, they will be posted on SportsBettersTV.com. Dr. Dan's Clinic. Just look for today's plays.
All right. So let's go over into the NBAs and see what we got here, guys, because I'm pretty excited about a play that I have, and I'm looking forward to discussing it. So let me just I'll keep that music on. I like that music. All right.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah,
And real quick, I'm seeing a bunch of people that are saying like, "Oh, the Angels have to eat $70 million on the on the Hamilton trade." Hey, that doesn't. The players don't care. They're just happy that they don't have to deal with the player distraction. Hey, $70 million to Artie Moreno, guys. That's like if I took out $5 to buy a sandwich for lunch.
Good point. Big ups to everybody that's helping us out today. Las Vegas Lime, Jim Rohn is a douche. West Coast Handicapper, and Holiday. What's up, guys? Got my man Irvin out there as well. All right, so let's keep it moving here. All right, so we're gonna go into this NBA slate and see what we've got popping with that. Let me wake everybody up a little bit, do a little something else here. All right. So we got the Atlanta Hawks coming into the Brooklyn Nets. Now, Brooklyn's home. Atlanta is only -3 to 3.5 with an under-over of 200.5 to 201. I can tell you this, guys. I bet the Brooklyn Nets against Atlanta when the Brooklyn Nets had to play at their strongest, where Atlanta had nothing to play for, and Atlanta went in their building and beat them. Atlanta has not lost to this team all year. I want to say that they have 6 victories and no defeats against Brooklyn. Yep. Not recommending that you take Atlanta here. I'm not recommending that you even play a side. I'm just saying that if you're thinking about, taking Brooklyn at all, if you're underdog lover, just keep that in the back of your brain that they have not beaten this team at all. Okay? Now, everybody's due a win at some point, whatever, but at the same token, when a team has your number, and I think Atlanta's going to come out to play, but I'm not recommending a side or a total on this. What's your take, Dan?
I'm with you. I mean, I don't have I just think Atlanta's going to come out and win. I don't have a feel on spreads on this. I'm good on Brooklyn.
All right.
They they haven't beat this team. I don't expect them to.
Exactly. Next one we got on the take, we got the Chicago Bulls at the Milwaukee Bucks. And the Bulls are up 3-0 already, looking to close this series out today and get some rest. They could definitely use the rest with, when they have that injury bug kind of crawling around.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and D-Rose has been playing a lot of games. But, dude, he just turned on classic mode.
Yes.
I mean...
So, taking a look at this now, Dan, I did on Thursday night, I did an in-game wager with Milwaukee up 14. Then they went up 18, and I thought I was money. And then Chicago went on like a 20-0 run. It was absolute madness.
Yeah, there's been a few of those this year. It's been crazy.
Under over 188.5 to 189. Taking a look at this game, I think this is going to be a defensive matchup. You may want to take a look at the under here, but I'm not going to play it, guys. I could tell you this much, that the Chicago Bulls, I hate them. I can't stand them. But you know who they remind me of, Dan?
Who do they remind?
They remind with their ugly gameplay and then going to become a pain in the ass in the postseason.
Pistons?
No, the Louisville Cardinals.
Oh,
remember that? Remember Patino's squad in college basketball where they were just nasty and ugly, and you never knew how they won, and then all of a sudden they get to the Elite Eight, and you're like, whoa! Because what's going to end up happening is Chicago's going to win this series, and then they're going to be playing my boy. And I have a feeling that they're going to be a pain in the ass for my boy. I think my boy will beat them, maybe 6-7 games. But you know what I'm saying? I think they're going to be. I think they're going to be a nightmare for them. So
I think it could be. I think it could be a problem. But
I really do.
I don't know if anybody's getting in Cleveland's way though.
No, I don't think so either. But I do have Atlanta in the future, pays 4-1. So just to win the East. So number 1 seed at $200 win $800. I had to jump on it. Next one we got on the ticket, we got the, Golden State Warriors at the New Orleans Pelicans. And Golden State's -7 with an under-over of 205.5 to 206. You know damn well New Orleans got to be feeling pretty bad being up 20 points going into the fourth quarter and losing that game, bro. That's a dagger right there.
That's absolutely. And I know that, no game has covered, right? New Orleans has covered every game.
I believe they've covered every game, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think that happens today.
You think?
I think that Golden State is, very well coached. I think Golden State goes into New Orleans today and actually destroys them.
You're probably right, Dan. I mean, when you come off a loss like that, that's got to really hurt you, down deep. You know what I'm saying? So I think the New Orleans Pelicans, I agree. I mean, you're already down 3-0 here.
My thing is this, too, especially in the NBA. NBA and NHL more than anywhere. You haven't lost a series until you've lost a home game, right? So even though that they went down 2-0, Golden State beat them down at home. When you go back to New Orleans and then you blow, like you said, blow a huge lead like that in the fourth quarter, when all you got to do, is play a little bit more defense and, just triple team Steph Curry, and you don't do it, and I just expect them to get annihilated today.
You love the annihilation talk, kid. You love it.
I do. I haven't thrown it out in a long time.
That's more of a football phrase. Yep, I got you. All right, so guys, here's the game I love. All right, now we are on the fourth game here. We've got the Memphis Grizzlies coming into the Portland Trailblazers. Now, the Portland Trailblazers are -3 with an under-over of 189. And I got to tell you right now, I do not see Portland going down in this series 0-3. I think Portland gets a win here. I think they even cover the spread with the 3 points. I'm not going to do the spread. I'm going to do it in a money line. Actually, I've already started the parlay. I got the Portland Trailblazers. I really like them today. I really do, man. I like them more than the baseball stuff.
I know. They've been beat down, dude. And I know they're coming home. But, the other thing is Aaron Afalo going to play today?
Gotta take a look at it as we get further. You know
so what I mean? That you don't know if he. I think Portland should come home and win this game. Obviously, got to check the injuries, but they've looked so bad. I mean, they got beat by almost 20 points both games.
Yeah, they got pounded pretty good, man. They got beat by
15 in the last game and
14.
Yep. So 15 and 14. Hey, more power to you. I'm not touching it.
Let me take a look at what's their home record here. That's what I want to. That's really what I want to see. Can't find it. Why can't I find their home record for Portland, baby? Come on.
I don't know.
It's dope though. It's really
here
good.
We go. Home record. Yeah. It is 32-9.
32-9, man. You got a team with 32-9 with their backs against the wall. Guys, their backs against the wall. They don't win this game, they're done. Crowd's going to be going nuts, kid. I think I'm going ham on Portland today.
All right.
I already put one play in. I'm kind of scratching my head here to put another one in, to be honest with you. Depends how my baseball goes for the day. I mean, the baseball's been good. So, all right, we'll keep it moving with that. The Portland Trailblazers got the Hatter seal of approval today. All right, so let's go into the hockey and see what we got, Mr. Evil Genius, and we'll go from there. Now, I know the Dream is on some big stuff today. Got the Nashville Predators at the Chicago Blackhawks. That's a 2 o'clock start. Chicago -170 with an under-over of 5. Guys, I don't really have much of an opinion on the hockey. I got to be honest with you. I mean, I did do the Rangers last night. I think the Rangers are one of the best teams in the league, so I figured that they would close it out. I know the First Lady, the fake fam, came on and actually called them to win 4-1 in the series. It paid plus $300,
plus
dollars.
$372.
Yeah, good for her, man. So big ups to her on that. I don't really have an opinion here. I mean, Chicago should probably get the game here, but you know what? If I bet it and I lose, I'll be so mad because I really don't know what the hell I'm talking about with that. Next, go ahead.
The only thing I got on that is, you just never know what's going to happen with Chicago's goaltending. You just never know. Obviously their goaltending hasn't been good all series. So I say just stay away from this. Obviously, Chicago needs to close this out here. If they go back to Nashville for Game 7, I don't think they get out of there alive.
Right. Absolutely. I know Chicago, throughout the year was ranked up there defensively. So
it's just bad goaltending right now.
Yeah, I got it. The Washington Capitals are coming into the New York Islanders today. The Isles are -124 with an under-over of 5. I got to talk to the Dream about this because I know the Isles are kind of not, they fell off. But for some reason, I have a sneaky suspicion that they get this game. I know it's going to be a stomach ache. That's why I don't want to get involved.
It's going to be a real stomach ache. I mean, this game, I just can't see them losing a game like this at home. I mean, it's the Coliseum. I mean, they lost 2-1 at the Coliseum. Can they really drop 2? Can they really drop 2 games and lose the series at home? I can't see that happening, but at the same time, they've done nothing to really impress me. Granted the game in Washington. Really what this series is to me is who's getting smoked by the Rangers.
Oh, definitely. My man, 714 Cousin said he's been needing a show like this for years. He said, we keep it real, no BS. Thanks, brother. We appreciate it. Welcome to the hashtag SBTV Nation, man. I got LA Wiz Kid out there. Got Snoopy Betts, Tyrone Reed, Capping Minds. Let's see. Vince Parker's out there. What's going on? He's been tearing it up as well. Rick Lopez and Jonesy. What's up, guys? How we doing out there today? It's a beautiful Saturday morning. Feeling really good. Feeling like getting some little early diamond work to work and then crushing the Portland Trailblazers later. Let's see. So we got the, let's take a look. Last one we got on the ticket, we got the Detroit Red Wings at the Tampa Biscuit Lightning. The Lightning are minus 190, man. Wow, that's right up the Dream's alley right there. Tampa Biscuit with the backs against the wall, kid.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 2-2 series. Tampa Bay, they've split, each home set. So 2-2. This is big for Tampa Bay. I mean, it's at home. If they don't win this, they're going to lose. They're going to lose the series, probably 4-2.
Yeah. It's got to be a sense of urgency there.
Man, at the same time, Detroit has played some real good hockey. I don't think I'm going to touch it. I lean slightly Tampa Bay, but at minus 190, that's just way
If you could put it in a parlay, I think you'd be all right.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I could see Detroit coming out and winning this game. Hockey is so volatile. Detroit is, is playing decently. I know Tampa Bay has been, obviously dominant all year. But I don't know. I'll stay away. Like I said, the one play that I want to make, and I haven't seen it released yet, is I think Ottawa beats Montreal, even though they're down.
That today?
No,
tomorrow.
I think that game will be tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah, that's going to do it for the NHLs, guys.
Yeah.
If I had to lean anything, I would say that Tampa Biscuit gets the job done today, but I'm probably not going to play that, guys, because, I was able to bet the Rangers yesterday just because I think they're the best team. But for me to be, just kind of forcing any hockey, I think would be a disservice to myself and anybody that's listening to my voice. So,
my one thing with Ottawa is, and this is not even straight hockey knowledge, it's just knowledge of how series work. Remember, guys, Ottawa lost the first 3 games, each by a goal. 4-3, 3-2, and 2-1. Then they won 1-0 in the next game, and then they went into Montreal and beat the crap out of them last night, 5-1. Now they get to go home, and then, if you're telling me that this has to go to a Game 7 back in Montreal, where Montreal is on the verge of blowing a 3-0 series lead, come on. That's the most pressure you can possibly have.
I didn't want to say it yesterday, man, but I got to tell you right now, that Montreal team, every time I bet them this year, they lost. So, you know what? I have a small little hate for them just because they got smoked me so much. It's almost like I feel like them is equivalent to like the Bulls and like the Milwaukee Bucks and all that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But my man Total Sports Edge is saying don't even think of taking the Lightning today. Wow. All right. Yeah. I know he's a dog. Yeah. He loves the dogs, but very interesting, man. I'll try to stay away from that. And I don't know if I ended up, if I was even thinking of even touching that anyway. So, but now you just kind of reinforced my my decision on probably falling back and staying away. So, Dan, I think that's pretty much going to do it, man. So, what do you want to do? Do you want to your plays are all going to be up on the website, right?
They are actually posted right now, and I'm going to throw them out on Twitter as we're speaking.
All right. Sounds good, guys. So, this is Dr. Dan, the evil genius of Major League Baseball, talking to you today. We are going to go into all of our games that we're feeling. I don't know. Are you going to give them all, or are you going to just post them?
I'll throw them out there. I know a lot of people who have told me that they're at work and, they can't necessarily go online and check stuff. So I will throw them out there. I'll run through them real quick, guys. If you want to tail them, I'm not going to, I'm just going to run through the teams. These are all money line plays, and I'll go through the run lines I got. So we're going to go money line. Orioles, Reds, Tigers, Astros, Padres, Mariners, Mets, Pirates, Cardinals, and Angels. For the run line plays today, we're going to go Orioles, Mariners, Cardinals, and Angels. So we're doubling up a little bit here, but I also like a couple games that I'm going to look at the adjusted run line when it comes out. So if you guys want to look at it, I like the Cardinals. I'm going to try and get them at -2.5. That'll probably pay out +220 in that range, which I really like.
All right. Taking a look at something interesting here. My man Winning Pictures informed me that Memphis has beaten Portland 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games in a row, going back to November of last year. Dude, thank you very much for that information. I appreciate it. That's what makes the nation so dangerous, man, and the bookies can't deal with us. Because you know what? I got people all across the board, all over the world, in 179 countries, giving me advice nonstop. That's what we created here, guys. We are the biggest sports betting community in the world. All positive energy, all 100%. Loving life, feeling good, and we'll be back at it tomorrow, 10 o'clock, Dan. So as far as my plays are concerned, big ups to my man, Randomly Unpredictable, by the way, and McKinn83. What's up, guys? All right, so here's what I'm doing. I'm looking at the Portland Trailblazers tonight. I already put one play in. I may do another one, but with this information, I got to look a little deeper into it. I am going to definitely get on Mr. Wainwright with the St. Louis Cardinals today on a money line. I am looking at the Washington Nasties with Strasburg as well. And what else was it? It was just those three, right? Yeah. That's it. So. That's it. That's all I'm looking at, guys. I Dan and I are different. Dan gives out a lot of games. I like to just zero in on a couple. That's just how I play. And you know what? Both of us have been, knock on wood, successful at it. So let's keep it moving, Dan. How about that?
Let's do it.
All right, guys. We are Sports Bettors TV. We are the biggest sports betting show in the world, period. You're going to find us on all the social media outlets. We are on Twitter. We are on Facebook. We are on Instagram, the whole package. Guys, we love you to death. Go out there. Go easy. Do your homework. But get that money. Let's go.
Peace.